New Year is just a few days away, and this is a wonderful opportunity for us to contemplate what we choose to experience as we move forward. Each of us can realize a greater good as we take the time to understand the words of the Mastermind Jesus from the book of Luke, take nothing for the journey. Take nothing for the journey, he told the people. And by this we know that he meant we are to loose from our mind the old thoughts, the old ideas that no longer benefit us, and open our mind to the new, the greater, and the more appealing. And let's go to the Holy Bible, the book of Luke, passage 9, 3 through 5, where the words of Jesus are, he told them, take nothing for the journey. No staff, no bag, no bread, no money, no extra shirt. Whatever house you enter, stay there until you leave that town. If people do not welcome you, leave their town and shake the dust off your feet as a testimony against them. And this means that we are to leave behind the old images of ourselves that we have accepted from the world and accept within our own mind a greater power, a greater wisdom, and a greater ability to demonstrate the life that we hope for, dream about, and pray for. Now, when we look at those words from the Mastermind Jesus, these are words for all of us, that take nothing for the journey, no staff, no bag, no bread, no money, no extra shirt, means that we are going to depend on principle. We're going to depend on God. We're not going to depend on the material. We're going to depend on the spiritual. We're going to depend on the Spirit. And whatever house you enter, he's telling us whatever consciousness you enter into, stay there until you leave it. Stay there until you leave it. In other words, whatever you go into, if it doesn't support you, if it doesn't benefit you, if it doesn't support you in your good and support you spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, then leave it. That means that your consciousness is not matched. The people in that town, in that area, in that surrounding, whatever it may be the place where you work. It may be the place where you meet people all the time. Or it just may be the neighborhood in which you live no longer supports you, is no longer the neighborhood that you wanted it, that you thought it would be. So many of us, though, we continue to live in a comfort zone, and so we don't take that option to move on. We don't take that option to have our consciousness lead us out of whatever it is that we're in into something greater. So when we're comfortable with our way of life and that living in that comfort zone, then the Spirit, which is always seeking to express something greater through us, something more expansive, the Spirit is within our mind looking for us to actively be guided and directed into something more creative, more abundant, more good, more whatever, more wonderful, I guess you could say. So when the Spirit is seeking to do these things through us, and if we don't do it, if we just kind of stay where we are and hold back and not have the faith to move forward, not have that thing within us, that strength within us to move forward, then we start letting our mind become frustrated and anxious, and we start getting worried, and we start getting dissatisfied, and all this stuff just builds up within us, and then we start seeing all kinds of problems in our life. It may be illnesses, it may be problems with money, it may be problems with people, it may be problems with our relationship, whatever it is. It will be a reflection of us not allowing the Spirit to express itself through us in a greater way. Now, the radical Jesus said that we are to resist not evil, but for most of us, that's not a problem. It's our resisting our greater good is where we get into problems, because most of us resist the greater good, and so we try our best to stay in that comfort zone and just get along with everybody, that old, I want to just get along with everybody type thing. Well, sometimes that consciousness that's seeking to expand within us, that consciousness that's being lifted up into that higher level, that higher idea of life, can no longer get along with the consciousness in which we are. So there's no getting along, we just must move on. Now, the